In this topic, that is distance versus displacement, let's see what are the differences, what are the similarities between these two. Both show what? Both show length, that is the length length dimension. So the first point is that distance is a scalar quantity. This is a major difference between these two. And displacement is a vector quantity. A scalar means what? No direction fixed, no fixed direction. And vector quantity means fixed direction. It is directional or fixed direction. The major difference between these two will be shown with an example. Let me show at first. Let me show the example. Okay. Let us take a question. For example, there is a question that let us take, this is a path. A man travels from A to B, a man is traveling, and then it goes to B to C. Okay, starts from A, it goes to B, then B to C. Okay, this is perpendicular, the routes are perpendicular. Then here, if it is suppose that 4 kilometers, this is 3 kilometers, then here the question is find distance and displacement. Here, this is a major difference between distance and displacement. Let us understand. This total distance covered by the man, that is 4 kilometer plus 3 kilometer, will be equal to distance. Okay, distance is the total distance covered. Okay, and displacement will be what? That is distance equals to AB plus BC, total distance covered. And displacement will be simply this shortest route, that is A. This will be the distance, displacement, sorry. Displacement will be this shortest route. So one major point we can write it here. One major point is distance is what? Total distance covered. Total route. Total distance, you can write total distance. That is total length of the path, you can say. Total length of the path. Okay. And here in the displacement, what we see? This is the shortest path. Shortest straight line path. That is here in this example. This is the shortest straight line path. So this is AC. Applying Pythagoras theorem, we will find what? This will be 4 square plus 3 square, that is, it will calculate it and it will come to 5 kilometers. This is the answer of displacement, and this is 7 kilometers, that is distance. Okay. So here the distance comes to be 7 kilometers and displacement comes to be 5 kilometers only. This is a major difference between these two. That is, the values of distance may be greater than or equal to displacement. Okay. So we can write here distance can be, here you can write distance can be greater than or equal to displacement. Okay. Let us take it a point. Let us write it as a point because this is important point. Distance is always greater than or may be equal to displacement. In sense of magnitude, distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. It will never be less than displacement. Okay. In this example we saw this is the total distance covered. Distance is the total length of the path. This path is also added, this path is also simply added, nothing else. And in sense of displacement, we saw the shortest route from A to C. What is the shortest route? A straight line is the shortest route. So we calculated the shortest route, a straight line. This is the hypotenuse of this triangle. According to Pythagoras theorem, we got the answer. Okay. This is a major point of distance difference. Now the next point, distance is only positive value. Distance is only positive. Always it will be shown as positive, and here it is displacement can be negative or positive. Displacement can or negative. When it is positive, displacement is positive when it is going along the direction, and when it is negative, when it means that it is going in the other direction, in the opposite direction. Okay. Negative, it means negative displacement means opposite direction. Simply this opposite direction. It shows direction. Where you see negative in a vector quantity, where you see negative, it always means it is having a direction that is reverse, negative direction. Okay, or opposite direction. Negativity is a sign of opposite direction. We should remember. And now dimensionally they are same. This is the point of similarity here. Dimensionally they are same. Dimension of distance is what? Distance means L, and M will be 0, no mass in distance, no time in distance. Okay. And here also dimension will be the same. Dimensionally both distance and displacement are same. Okay. So this was the points of similarity and dissimilarity Okay, and this one is an important point, distance. And this example, let's see one other example. Here the question is, a boy is running on a circular path from point P to point Q, whose radius is 7 kilometers. Here, a boy is starting its running from here to here. The direction is not given. It may be running from here to here, from P to Q in any way. Okay, from P to Q. Okay, and this is the circular path, and the radius of the circular path is 7 kilometers. Then we have to find the difference between distance and displacement. The difference between distance and displacement. Clearly, if anyone will not knowing the difference between distance and displacement, what is the distance and what is displacement difference, they will say it will be 0, but not 0. Here we will solve it. This is the distance covered. This, because in this way, this is the total distance, this is the total length of the path the boy is covering. What is distance is the total length of the path. This is the total length of the path. This is what? This is half of the circumference. So distance will be half into circumference. That is half into circumference. Formula is 2 pi r, 2 to cut, and that is pi r, and the value of r is given here 7. So this cut, so it is 22 kilometers. The distance came 22 kilometers, and displacement is what? According to definition, this is the shortest straight line path. It means P to Q. This straight line, this will be called diameter. So displacement is diameter here. And we know diameter is 2 into radius. So radius is given as 7. So it is 14 kilometers. Now according to the question, distance minus displacement will be equal to 22 minus 14. That is 8 kilometers answer. Okay. Thank you.